Belief in Visionaries and Power Plugs family. I'm coming live here with you to get some things off of my chest that I need to, and I want to bring this to light because it's time to bring honor to a family legend. Our family is experiencing the pain of physically losing the presence of one of the most positive people that I know, one of the greatest examples that I have ever had, and that is the example of the life of my uncle Khalil Sultan. Great teacher, great human being, great example of what it means to live and learn and love and exemplify love in spite of whatever it is that he is going through. Always a light, one of those individuals that when he walks into a room, you feel his energy, you feel his excitement, you feel his exuberance. Never going into a place being a stranger. The type of light that he is just gives me joy. And although I am sad, and although I am grieving the physical loss, I can't be sad when I speak about him. And there's no other way to express my love and gratitude for his light than to tell stories about the type of individual that he is. I remember when my father transitioned and he showed up to the funeral. And after the funeral, it was very somber. But what happened when he walked into the room was amazing. What he did is he unified the family through story. He unified the family through laughter. He talked about how we were connected to him, and we were introducing ourselves to each other and getting out of that heavy feeling. And there was laughter in the room. There was joy in the room. There was an honoring of who it is that we are as a unit in the room. And that's the type of individual that he is. Anytime over the years that we connected, that he reached out, he would always have a positive, encouraging word for me. I remember there was one time that I was thinking about doing the things that I'm doing now, and the inspirational story that he gave me was like a fire that just lit up my life. He talked about timing, and he talked about not worrying about anything. Uh, the decision to leave the norm and venture out into entrepreneurship. That story was amazing. He told me that you should always use what it is that you have inside of you and never doubt your ability, even in a situation where you may not have the experience that you may think you need. And he told me a story about him and my Uncle James. This was probably, I'm guessing, around the 70s. Now, these two men could sell snow or ice to an Eskimo. That's how charismatic these two men are. And they were both working together in a department store, and top salesmen. They rode to work together. They would sell the place out. And what ended up happening was the department store, which will remain nameless, found out that they were Muslim. And at that time, that was a very negative thing. And so they both got fired that same day. And so they got in the car and they're like, wonder what in the world we're gonna do. We got families to feed, we have bills, we don't know what we're gonna do. And he's telling me this story, and I'm getting excited. I'm like, well, what did you do? He said they rode down the street and they passed by a house that had the yard overgrown. And he said, we pulled over and we knocked on the door and said, sir, we're two businessmen who are in the business of agriculture, and we're in the business of taking care of lawn maintenance. And so they asked him what the quote would be for the yard maintenance. Now, mind you, these two had never done yard maintenance before in their life. This is the type of boldness that these two men have. And so they he gave them like kind of like a roundabout figure, and they said, well, you know what? We're going to go back to our office, which they didn't have. We're going to go back to our office and we're going to discuss what our bid for this project would be. So they got in their car, they went, and they found out how much it would cost to rent a lawnmower. So they went, they rented the lawnmower, they came back, they told the man what the quote would be and got the job. Never ever doing this type of work before, and did an amazing job. So much so that the other people around started wanting to know what it was that how they could get work from them too. Again, never question your experience when you have the will and the nerve and the flat out just gall, the obliterated gall to go after what it is that you want. Do you know that these two men with no experience whatever, absolutely none, these two men built a successful lawn service business out of a situation that came from what would appear sheer disaster. We're fired from our job because of our religious convictions. We have families to feed. What is it that we're going to do? We're just going to figure it out. And boom, figured it out. No experience, walked up in there and learned as they went. My uncle said, nephew, learn as you go. You don't have to have the experience that you think you need. You have life experience. You have the boldness within you. And from that conversation, it changed everything for me. This is the type of man that my uncle is. He's an inspirer. He is somebody who is a light and will continue to be a light. The stories, the many stories of the many lives that he has touched, the many lives that he has reached, they will continue to ring out. He would sit and talk to me about the students, because when I said he's a teacher, he is a teacher. He is a motivational speaker and has touched the lives of many, many children, many, many people across this nation. A family legend that I have to pay tribute to, because he is one of the reasons why I do what I do. I vow to be a light. I vow to be the best person that I can be, in spite of where I came from, in spite of past setbacks, in spite of any of those things, in spite of sorrow. This man, this great man who experienced sorrow in his life, would take that sorrow and turn it into joy. He would take these situations and find a deeper meaning. This is the type of light that our family will continue to need. What I learned and what he was teaching me was to make the things that are important be important first. I didn't always keep in touch with him like I should have because I was concerned about the wrong things. And he always taught to put what matters at the forefront. Family matters at the forefront. The things that I was concerned about then, I'm not concerned about now. I have a different mindset now because of the example that he set and the stories that he set in front of me. I could go on and on for days and days about the impact of this family legend, how he started from one situation and will continue to grow and continue to share that love and that knowledge that he has, not just here, but everywhere. Programs to change the trajectory of our youth, to change the trajectory of our families, to get our mindsets different. That's the type of light that this man is. Yesterday, I was feeling his presence and I scrolled through an old message that he had left me, and it was profound. And I will share this and then I will let you all go on about your way. It was a story that he had sent me, and it's the story about life, and that life is like a train ride, a journey on a train. And on this train, you will have different people that will come and they will ride this train of life with you. But at some station, those people must depart that train called life. And in doing so, you never know who it is that's going to enter your life or when they're going to leave. But the success of an individual is having a strong and a good relationship with all the passengers that are in your life, which requires us to be and live our very best life and to be our very best self. In the story, it goes on to continue that because we don't know when it is our station to depart that train called life, that we should always live our very best and do our very best in everything that we do. There was a day that I was sad over things that were going on in my life, and who was there? Uncle Khalil. And he walked in and he said, "Nephew, how you doing?" I said, "Uncle, I'm doing okay." He said, "Just okay? Why aren't you doing great? It's free." This is the type of light that this man shows. And so the story about the train is that because we don't know when we must depart, we must always live our very best and to be the best it is that we can be every single day. Uncle Khalil, you did that. You lived your very best life and shown your light always. There are messages, there are examples. Your reach is phenomenal, and you will always be the light in my heart that encourages me on the darkest of days. I can smile. I can smile because of your example, and I thank you. I thank you for all the encouragement. And I want you, family, to be encouraged. I want you to remember and hold that light inside of you, in spite of whatever it is that's going on. You can smile and you can give off the love that it is that you want to receive, because that's how we change the narrative of this world, through the example of men just like Uncle Khalil. to sum it up, one day he shared the story about the meaning of his name. And being Muslim, he took on a different name. And he told me, he said, I never really liked my first name until just a few years ago. I learned what it meant. And when you put all the meanings of my name together, oh, it makes me love myself even more. I won't say his original first name, but I will say the meaning of his name. Beloved son, trusted friend, wise, strong ruler. Uncle Khalil, you are all of those things. I love you. And wherever you are in the universe, I will continue to tell your story. I will continue to share that message of light and that message of hope that you gave to me and everyone else that you encountered on your train ride of life. I thank you. I thank you. And I am changed because of your influence. I love each and every one of you. Understand that I'm going through something, coming out of it different, coming out of it stronger, coming out of it better because of examples of lives, especially the life of my great Uncle Khalil. I love you and I thank you. I love you all. Stay connected. Do what it is that is inside of you to do. Do it in spite of how you feel. Do it in spite of fear, because fear is a lie. Do it in spite of doubt, because doubt is a lie. Do it in spite of the limitations that you think are there, that you and I have created to keep us safe. There is no safe. It is living the life to the fullest and knowing that you're protected, knowing that when you follow the heart mission, the life mission within you, you will have bumps, you will have bruises, you will experience pain, you will experience different things, but the cost far outweighs the benefit of what it is that you're going to gain. Much love, much respect to you all. Take care.